What's happening in entertainment? From Tinseltown to the Big Apple, this is your weekly entertainment magazine with Greg Dunmore of PulseBeat.tv.
Pulse of a new generation, PulseBeat.tv.
And as always, we welcome you to PulseBeat.tv's Greg Dunmore's Hot Happenings, and this is the hottest happening, the Techno Fest Movement 2015. So we're going to take you inside the Techno Fest where the world comes to celebrate an art form that was founded in the city of Detroit. Stay tuned for something hot happening, Techno Movement 2015.
Detroit music, it's soulful. It's you know, it makes you dance.
The Saunderson brothers, and like I said, when I met your father and Derek and also Juan, they were around your age, and that time goes by. But you are in the moment, in the mix, and you guys are doing it. So let us know, how does it feel being second generation of a living legend who you call Dad? We call him living legend. You call him Dad.
We do. It feels good, man. It feels good. You know, it's different because we grew up with it, but we get the same vibes as everybody else, and it's just, you know, it's our pops. You know, to him, you know, he's our pops to us. And everybody else, you know, he's this big idol. You know, and it's, I don't know how to explain it in the words. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's a great feeling. It's always a family affair. You know, he's our pops. He's he's superstar DJ. You know, techno godfather. So following his footsteps feels good, you know?
Now, you guys are too young to know this show, but there was a television show called Father Knows Best. So, what did your dad tell you in terms of a piece of knowledge that you could only have learned from U of K? That's University of Kevin, as in Kevin Saunderson, Daddy.
The first thing he said to us was be humble, always be humble. That stuck out more than anything else to me, because it's hard to find sometimes. And being humble is, you know, it's part of us. So that was the biggest thing that stuck out to me.
Yeah, be humble. Follow your heart when it comes to the music, you know. Follow your heart. Don't do it for yourself, you know, first, you know, and then everybody else next. So you got to feel it.
The world has come to Detroit, so let us know your feelings about the world coming back to the home ground.
I think it's a great thing. It shows kind of respect and interest for the artists, for all the hard work we've been doing all these years. Just didn't happen overnight. And people want to come here and experience what Detroit is about, the city is about, and the music. And being here, this is one of the most unique festivals in the world and one of the best.
Now, you've been all over the world, so just let us know very briefly, what place in the world among the many places that you have been to would you consider to be just a place that is unforgettable among the many places in the world that you've been to?
Ibiza, Spain. It's definitely unforgettable. It's a unique place. It's an island with super clubs, and great crowds come from all over the world with great food and beaches, and it's kind of like a paradise of our world of music.
And the world, and leaving Detroit, you would, like Kevin Saunderson, would like the world that has come to the Techno Fest to go back and tell whatever countries that they're from. You would hope they're going to say,
come on, you got to come to Detroit at some point, sometime. It was amazing, and it was safe, it was fun.
Fantastic, continued success. All right.
So all we're doing is spread the love that we have here from Detroit worldwide, and now they're giving it back to us by coming and showing and supporting us.
Now, Techno, 22 years, 2 decades plus, you must have seen something change. It's got to have been some change. What is the biggest change that you can note from Techno from the beginning 22 years ago, and what you're noticing in 2015?
I really think it's just becoming a more diverse audience. The younger audiences are embracing it now and catching on and realizing what the older audiences have known for years, that this is music that is given from the heart and soul and just embraces you.
And where do you see techno 20 years from now?
God, I hope it even gets bigger and larger with a greater audience and becomes more socially accepted. You know, I just hope it becomes even radio start to play more like they do overseas.
And Kevin Saunderson, one of the founders of Techno, who is a true legend, let us know something about Kevin Saunderson that only someone that would have known him for as long as you have known him would be able to tell us.
He's one of the world's greatest fathers. He tours, he goes on the road for weeks, sometimes months at a time. Even if he's only home for a short time, which now he makes more time, it doesn't matter. He comes home, and no matter how tired it is, whatever, he always spends time with all of his children. You know, we just did something, we were in London, we were gone for 2 weeks, came home in between, and he only had 2 days, and literally drove the family down to Cedar Point for 2 days to have fun, and then hopped on a plane with like no sleep. I mean, he's the greatest father I've ever seen.
So now you've heard it from Phil, you guys out there who are fathers and fathers-to-be, your blessing comes from being a great, good dad. Kevin Saunderson is an example of a guy that is always being blessed because of one great reason, being a good father.
Right, and that's, his kids are performing here today. He's passed that on, and they're actually performing here today.
Fantastic. The legacy continues.
Continues, and it's just going to continue to grow.
Fantastic. Thanks so much, Phil.
To drive back and forth 5 hours from Chicago to come check out Derek, Kevin, and Jeff Mills at the Music Institute. Got a lot of roots here as well. That's Chicago.
Now you are of international importance. The world is coming to Detroit, and this music, which was birthed out of Detroit in part, and then it went to Europe and Asia and South America, and now all of these internationals are coming to the heart of Detroit to enjoy this music. Let us know your impressions of where the music is today and the future of where the music is going, the creator of Acid House, the father of Acid House.
No doubt. Me being the father of Acid House, I know very much about techno because back in the day, we used to just love techno. When I first went to Europe, they were playing techno, and I remember telling them, said, listen, that stuff ain't, I said, that's Detroit, that's from Detroit. So Detroit techno infused the house scene and helped it grow all through Europe. And that's why techno is so big worldwide. It's a Detroit thing, but it's a world thing now. We just gotta make sure people know where it came from. It came from here, the Midwest, Detroit.
Now, where do you see the music going? Because I know we talk about it being technology-based, techno, and it's innovative. So where do you see this sound going? We know where it is in this moment, and you're such an important part of it, but where do you see it going maybe 10 years from today? What is going to be the future of this international force of music?
I think the music is actually going in cycles. Right now, the cycle is going back to the roots of what it was like in the 90s. You know, we have a lot of technology involved in it, but it missed a little bit of the heart and soul. If you know anything about Detroit techno, it had the technology and it had the soul with it. And right now, it was so technology-based, but it's going back to the heart and soul of what the music really is. So we're going to balance the technology and the heart and soul of music again. So I think that's where it's going in the future, a better balance with technology and the soul.
And of all the countries that you've traveled, and I know you've been all over the world, is there one country that comes to mind that touches your heart in terms of the love they've shown you?
Oh, I would have to say Japan and the UK, London, definitely, because Japan, they love all the music from soul to techno to acid, and London because they were the first place that really grasped hold of our music and took it and made it go across the world. It was a culture for them in the UK.
And how does it feel to be called now a living legend?
You know what? I'm humbled by it because it's something that you can't grasp. You got to just feel like it's a divine thing that God placed this on you, and you got to carry it in a humble way and just try to give and teach people what you know about it and try to help people and bring them up, you know. So I don't connect to it in an egotistical way. I connect to it and just think and just give blessings to the Lord, and that's what it is.
So it's about not feeding the ego, but feeding the spirit.
Exactly, 100% correct, and making sure people know that the music came from here, the Midwest, Chi-Town, and Detroit.
as you can see, the world has come to the center of Detroit celebrating Techno Music Movement 2015. And we had to be there and we had to give you our slice, our take on why techno is an art form out of the heart of Detroit that the world has embraced. Stay tuned.
Pulse of a new generation. PulseBeat.tv.